Welcome to Sips and Tips, mini episodes of the Leaderish podcast. Listen in as Dr. Jen and Regina bring you a little inspiration to move you through your week a little more inspired. Hey Jen, how's it going?
Hey Regina, I'm great. We are going to do a Sips and Tips and talk about a quote today. How are you?
I am doing lovely, and I'm really excited to dig into your quote today.
Well, thank you. Let me tell you what it is
Okay.
and our listeners, because you may already know. So we've both been reading Untamed, and I think we already talked about the podcast, Brené's podcast that we listened to with Glennon and Brené, where she talked about the book. So now we are both reading the book, and I purchased some artwork that is hanging behind me right now. That is from Glennon Doyle from the book Untamed. And the quote is, "Be messy, complicated, and afraid, and show up anyway," which I love. Obviously, I put it on the wall. So, Regina, I want to know, what's your first reaction to that quote?
Okay. First of all, I love permission to be messy.
Yes, definitely.
And I work with a leader right now who is all about the mess. She wants to be in the mess. She understands that there's going to be a mess. She knows that mess happens. And that in itself is life-giving. Permission for there to be a mess. It goes back to the whole perfectionist conversation
I was
that we've had,
just
right?
thinking that. Yes.
Like, stop forcing yourself to be a perfectionist. Embrace the mess and go with it.
I love it. I love that. And authentic conversations are going to be messy.
Yes.
Which is what I love about that. And the second part of it, complicated. That's interesting as well. What does that mean to you?
Jen, we're complicated people.
Yes, we are.
I mean, I know that we make ourselves look very well put together on this podcast.
Of course we do.
That is not always the truth. We are complicated. Every situation that we deal with every day is complicated, and you can't be afraid of complicated.
That's a great way to look at it, is you can't be afraid of being messy and complicated. And interestingly, I had no idea we were going to talk about fear so much in this podcast. We didn't talk about that one time when we were planning this podcast. No. So I think it's so interesting that fear, whether it's via imposter syndrome or do it scared or all the conversations we've had, some of them have honed in on fear. So I think that's really interesting. I love the main part of the quote, which is show up anyway. That has actually a special kind of meaning to me. I can't remember who or where I learned it. The whole saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, which I just said a quote. I just had another quote within a whole quote conversation. I've fully realized that I did that.
Heard that.
I double quoted. You haven't heard it?
I love it.
And I almost made you spew iced tea as well, which I really wish would have happened, but that's okay. So it's the idea that you can hear really great advice, really sage wisdom, whatever, over your lifetime. But if you're not in the right place to hear it, it's just going to go straight over your head, or you're going to hear it in a different way or whatever. So show up and show up anyway was kind of that for me. And it's now really important to me. But someone told me, I used to travel with motivational speakers. I think I told you that before, yes. But one of them at some point said, as a leader, it's your job to show up. That's your first job. Yes. As a leader, as a friend, as a spouse, as a daughter, as a parent, whatever, your job's to show up. And that just really must have hit me at the right time, because it's not like magic words. It's not like I hadn't heard that before, but I think it hit me at the right time. And now I'm really being TMI, but as a cancer survivor, before that experience, I really had the shoulds. I have to do this. I should do this. I really should do this. I really should do this. I really felt like I needed to be everything for everyone, and going through any sort of traumatic experience. But for me, it was going through cancer at a young age that helped me really quick perspective shift. And say, no, I can't physically do this. I can't show up for everyone all the time. And so then I over rotated a little bit and I really didn't show up for a lot of people because
Mm.
at the time I was being selfish. Now I'm okay with that actually.
You needed to be selfish for a little
Yeah, I
while.
did. I did. And so it was fine. But I over rotated a little too far.
Okay.
And so by the time I heard those words, I felt like it was somebody in my face going, Jen, who are you going to show up for? And so that the show up anyway part really hit home with me because I do have a really core list of people that no matter what, I'm dropping what I'm doing and I'm going to show up for you. But then there's this other piece about, but you also have to show up for yourself.
That's right.
And so what does
And
show up mean for you?
and then you have to balance that. And I think that's a lot of what you can't do everything for everybody. You have to do what's right for you. And that actually in the long run will be right for everyone else in your life. Right.
Exactly.
So if you put her and what you know about her together with this quote, it's saying it's okay that things aren't perfect. Do what you can, take care of yourself, and also still be there when other folks need you.
Yeah. And that's where, hey, even if you're complicated, even if you're messy, even if you're afraid, you just show up anyway,
Mm-hmm.
either for yourself or for others. And if we talk about Glennon, you know, she is a recovering addict.
Mm-hmm.
And even after she recovered from that, and she's written many, many books, but even after she recovered from that, she still wasn't being true to herself and she was in a place in her life that she wasn't happy. And this whole untamed message and this whole quote is about how she figured out to say yes and show up for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that was actually better in the long run for her tribe, essentially.
Absolutely. Wow. That's pretty powerful. Let's wrap this up by saying now you just need to get out there, be messy, be complicated, be afraid, but just show up.
Show up anyway.
That's right.
I love it. Cheers.